Hey folks, Crazy Climber80 here again, and this time we're going to look at game number 17 in our 20 from 1990 series. This was created by Sega, and it feels a lot like Golden Axe the way it plays, but it has an alien invasion motif, and this is called Alien Storm. Now, the regular beat-em-up parts play like Golden Axe. There are also 3D first-person perspective shoot-em-up sequences, and you can have up to 3-player simultaneous play in this game. There might be 2-player cabinets and 3-player cabinets, but that is one of the first-person perspective shooting sequences. The kick I get out of this game is the goofy humor. It's very funny. We see a little backstory here of the protagonists, the 3 protagonists, and they run a food cart during the day, or during their civilian time. But when duty calls, they are pressed into action, and they
bad breath, man.
and they eradicate the alien menaces. The alien menaces can take the form of humans. They can take the form of regular items like trash cans and vending machines and whatnot. And there's another one of the first-person perspective shoot 'em up or shooting sequences. There are some cool things you can do during the regular beat-em-up sequences that you cannot do in the first-person perspective shooting sequences. And we will get to those in a little bit. There is also a special attack you can use, and that can destroy all the enemies on screen, but only in the beat-em-up sequences. There's a lot you can't do in the first-person perspective sequences. And we see some of the classics by Sega float by. Golden Axe, Shinobi, whatever. And now we're going to go ahead and get started, and you can select your character. There is the male character, and his name is Garth. In some areas he's known as Gordon.
Hey,
and there is also Karen, the female, and her name is also Carla in some areas. And then the robot is known as Scooter or Slammer in some areas. And the robot acts as the waiter there. She gets the call on the phone that we gotta jump into action, and they changed their name from Alien Burgers to Alien Busters. This game is very funny. So we start off with the beat-em-up sequence. Each character has a main weapon, and Garth here has a laser gun. It unfortunately is very short range, so you need to have not a whole lot of distance from the enemy to be able to use it. And yeah, some of them will disguise themselves as trash cans, or vending machines, or phone booths, or stuff like that. Try not to get too close to the enemies. You can double tap towards the enemies to run at them, and while you're running, you can press the second button, I believe, and you will jump, and you will jump high in the air. You will do a somersault, and you can press fire to fire downwards at the enemies. It's really cool looking. And there was a dash that I used. You can also do a roll with the second button. You will roll towards the enemies, and if you press fire during the roll, you will leap at the enemy. Some very cool looking moves you can do in the beat 'em up sequences. There's Bandicam being glitchy again. Very annoying. But we go to our first person perspective shooter sequence. Shoot everything. Shoot all the stuff on the shelves. we are in a convenience store here. Don't worry about property damage. You can restore energy to your second meter. There is a blue meter, which is your main life meter, and then there is a pink meter, which is your secondary weapon meter. And you need it to be like at least a third of the way full to be able to use your special weapon once. And after you beat a stage, you get your you get a chance to refill some of your pink meter if you destroyed a whole bunch of enemy aliens. The humans running away and screaming is also reminiscent of Golden Axe. Now note that there's no scoring system. If when you play a game or when your game concludes, then you will get a rating, basically. And it was kind of the same in Golden Axe. It's alien jumping on the human, eating them. Each character might say something funny if they get grabbed by an enemy tentacle or licked or sucked into the aliens' mouths. He says, "Bad breath, man." The woman says, "Disgusting." And the robot, I don't remember what he says. I think he just goes, "Ugh." But yeah, you'll want to use all your moves at your disposal for the beat-em-up sequence. And again, you press the second button to roll. For some reason, these enemies sprout wings and run away, and you don't have to finish them off. And now we go to a running sequence where you can hold down the fire button and shoot rapid fire. You just move up and down and try to take out the enemies. Some of them will leave behind toxic clouds, and you don't want to get caught in that or you'll lose some energy. But this will end eventually. But yeah, you press the second button to do a roll during the beat 'em up sequences, not here. And during the roll, you could press the first button to leap at the enemy. Some of the enemies will be tiny little hopping enemies, and they might emerge from the big enemies, and they will also yield a power-up for your pink special weapon meter. And yeah, that really sucks that you don't get opportunities to refill your regular life energy with the collection of certain icons. This game is really meant to be played with multiple players. And now we come to the electronics department store. Shoot all the TVs! If you got sharp eyes, you might be able to notice certain Sega characters on the TV screens. You can't do a rapid fire holding down the button here, unfortunately. You have to keep tapping and shoot all those projectiles that the aliens fire at you. Your laser just doesn't seem to be fast enough when you have to move the cursor over to where they're spitting out aliens or whatnot. So you really need multiple players on this type of a scenario. And you gotta continue right where you left off. Yeah, watch out for the aliens that are swiping their claws at you. Yeah, look, they'll fire little blobs, they'll fire little munching mouths. After a while, eventually, after destroying enough aliens, or sometimes a big boss alien that requires extra hits, then that stage will end. And now we go to the next scenario between the stages where you get to get more recovery for your special weapon meter. And sometimes there will be these weird little enemies that sit in the street and will spit smoke at you. And you gotta watch out for that. But yeah, we will we will eventually see that very cool looking jumping somersault firing downward move. And we will also see me play as the woman and the robot. There were numerous home ports of this. There's a Sega Genesis port, I believe. And they might have changed the names of a character or two. Yeah, use that dash, use the roll, and there is the special weapon. Like I said, use of it will drain your pink meter. Ow! And collecting those icons that say P on them will restore it. And by shooting everything that you can shoot in the first-person perspective sequences, you'll likely uncover some P icons. So just keep shooting everything, but make sure you shoot the enemies and their projectiles. And now this first-person perspective sequence features a car shop or a car showroom. Gotta kill those enemies that are on the ceiling because they'll lick at you and hurt you. And I decided not to continue right here, I believe. I will eventually. But like I said, if you, when your game ends, then you will get a grade. And Gilius Thunderhead of Golden Axe is one of the judges. They grade you based on how many enemies you killed, maybe how many continues you had to spend, etc. But we will. There was the acrobatic move I was telling you about. Whoops. Yeah, you do a dash, and then you press the second button to jump up in the air, and you can fire downwards at the enemies below you, which is really cool looking. Yeah, the big reasons to play this is the goofy humor and the chance to play multiplayer. Definitely do that, because this game can get very, very, very tough, especially those first-person perspective shooter sequences. And we'll pick up where I left off in the auto showroom, where you're just absolutely destroying all the cars. Imagine the property damage you'd incur. Some roadsters, maybe. At any rate, yeah, having two players at once doing this type of sequence is pretty much a must, because enemies pop up from everywhere. Hot enough for you. And those little weird enemies with the crazy hair that popped up at the bottom will blow smoke at you, just like in the beat-em-up sequences. And here's another running sequence. Yeah, you automatically run. You don't have to do anything. It looks like you're going to fall in the ocean or something, but the character has pretty impressive hops. I remember seeing this, I think, once at a nickel arcade. I know it was fairly popular. A lot of people liked it. You can do the acrobatic jump just by pressing the second button in the rapid fire sequences. running sequences, whatever. She can swat the enemies as part of a semi-combo when up close. And that is her special weapon. She has like an ICBM missile drop and destroy all enemies on the screen at once. And I think what the robot says is time to rodeo. And that is his special move, which is cool. His special attack. He blows up, leaving only his head, and a new body runs up and picks up the head and puts it back on. And here we have like a warehouse or maybe a factory type of setting. There are numerous of these types of first-person perspective shooting sequences. And I put on invincibility by this point. The power-ups, I think, can disappear pretty quickly if you don't shoot them real quick. And you won't be able to get them. Nothing happens if you press the B or the C button, the second or the third button, other than if you press the second button, your character like grunts or something or tries to say something, and it just keeps happening every time you press the button, and it gets really annoying. I think we'll see that a little bit later. And this is a boss. There, his jumping attack makes him shoot downward with his laser gun. He has like a laser gun and a laser whip. And this boss, note that it shoots forward and backward and forward and backward. So try not to be on the side that's about to shoot. Just keep moving all over the place to draw it to you. And there I used a special weapon. And this boss tries to bite you. Since I've got invincibility on, it's not going to hurt me. And eventually he'll turn into this weird thing with a bunch of eyes. We're not going to do a full playthrough at this point. We're just going to skip forward. And then he dies. And you can destroy all these little creatures that spawned and refill your special weapon meter if you need to. And that's the end of that mission. They're called missions instead of stages. Yeah, the more small and large aliens that you destroy over the course of one game, the better your score is going to get, and as long as you don't have to continue a million times, I would imagine.
Let's get him.
And this is a little bit of multiplayer, although just 2, not 3. And again, their names are, the guy is named Garth, and in some regions I guess he's known as Gordon, and the woman is named Karen, and in some areas her name is Carla, and the robot is either called Scooter or Slammer. And yeah, the woman has a blowtorch, and as I've mentioned, the robot has a laser whip and a laser gun. As for which character is best, I'm not sure if there is a major difference between all of them. And yeah, we're just gonna skip to later areas, or we're not gonna do a full playthrough. And now we come to like a chicken factory or a chicken warehouse. Looks like the little enemies might be like jumping to peck you or something, so maybe they're alien chicken hybrids. Yeah, it's a good idea to try to take out those ceiling enemies quickly, because they'll try to lick at you and it'll hurt you, and they'll do it real quick. Yeah, you really gotta have multiplayer in this type of area. Have one character cover one side of the screen, have the other character cover the other side of the screen. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy this as much as other people did. It's okay. And now we come to another running sequence. And again, you can press the second button to jump, and you will need to do that sometimes here. The computer will automatically make you jump over that big gap there, but you will need to jump over these spiked logs or whatever those are. And eventually we will fight enemies just outside of their ship, which looks like a giant maggot or something. And then you will go inside. And you will do a... yeah, see, this is the annoying sound that occurs if you press the second button. Sorry about this, I know it's really annoying. So I won't play the whole thing. Oh, stop that. It's annoying. So yeah, just press the first button, not the second button, or you'll hear this headache-inducing noise. Yeah, sorry, I know that's annoying. I didn't think it would be as annoying as it would be when I was playing it, but... stop that. Yeah, I think the robot says rodeo. There we go. Shoo. And then you will go inside the you will be inside the ship, and it will take off, and you will go into space. Weird looking spaceship. And this is where you are currently. And there will be eventually a series of tunnels that you will need to go through. And you can take whichever path you want. There are paths that will be shorter than others. We'll go in this way. I think for this stage, and this is not the last stage, this is stage 5, you want to go to the right one, then the left one, and then it's quickest, I think. I didn't go that way, obviously. Well, the stages, or the beat-em-up sequences that you will play between the tunnel selections, they're largely similar, I think. Now we gotta select another one. We'll go in the right one. It's not a tunnel system that you'll really get lost in, like some games will have you get lost through either tunnels or doors. But I remember getting really lost in Revenge of Shinobi on the last stage with all the different doors you can go through. Yeah, sorry about that. They're trying to say something when you press that second button. And I just didn't realize it would be so annoying, and it is. I'm sorry. So if you're playing this, don't press that second button. Just press the first button. That's the only one you're really that really benefits you at all. It really kind of sucks that you can't use any of the other cool moves or special weapons that you can use in the beat-em-up stages in the first-person perspective sequences. We'll just scoot forward to more tunnels. Yeah, I enjoy the goofy humor, the slightly dark humor at times. The aliens eating the people. Yeah, you don't have to destroy all those weird wild-haired things that spit the poison at you in order to go to the next section. And we'll just scoot forward to going through more tunnels. And now we are in the last stage. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that again. It's really noisy. But that brain is the boss, and you need to shoot the brain enough times to destroy it. But worry more about the aliens that are coming at you first. Then when you got a clear shot, then take out the brain. Phew. Yeah, I think he says time to rodeo. That's weird. But at any rate, this is the ending of Alien Storm, and they have some sort of protective force field as they return to Earth. I don't know what generated that, but they'll land safely. And we will get to see the ending sequence of Alien Storm with various enemies that you've faced passing by. And they walk very stiltedly. Very weird game. Very silly. But yeah, definitely make sure that you have a couple friends playing with you, because it's very difficult in the first-person perspective shooting sequences. Use all the moves that you can in order to get the drop on the aliens or get a better advantage against them. And yeah, we both get our own grades. There's Gilius Thunderhead among the judges. That was Alien Storm by Sega in 1990. That was game number 17 in our 20 from 1990 series. Was Crazy Clown Race, and thanks for watching. Hope you join me soon for game number 16. Have a good one, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.